Hey everybody, welcome to Kut'em Outdoors Tip Tuesday. This week's tip is about shot size, chokes, brand of ammo, guns. I'm going to try to cover it all in one video. The biggest question we get when we do seminars is, what shot size do we use? What gun do we shoot? What choke do we use? So it's a big question that comes up a lot. So I'm going to start off with shot size. The shot size that we typically use throughout the season is 2s. A lot of the places that we hunt, we're hunting geese and ducks depending on where we are. And we feel that a 2 is going to take down a goose and not be too big of a shot to destroy the meat on a duck. The early season for geese, we're using BB. We know that we're not going to be getting into any ducks, so we'll use BB and don't have to worry about shooting a duck and destroying the meat. During the regular season, it's always 2s. We shoot Kent, that's the ammo that we choose to shoot. We've been happy with it. We've been shooting it for many years, and we've switched to other ammos and weren't happy with them, and we stick with Kent. Kent 2s, 2 3/4, all season long. The difference between the 2 3/4, 3-inch, 3.5-inch, in my opinion, that's just preference. It's all in what you like to shoot. We shoot a lot of rounds during the season. We kill a lot of birds. I like to use 2 3/4 because it makes my shoulder feel good at the end of the season when I'm not shooting 3.5-inch and going through 3 cases of ammo. Next thing is going to be your chokes. Again, I think it's personal preference, but it all depends on what you're doing, what you're hunting, where you're hunting. If you're hunting layout blind in Maryland, shooting snows, and they're not coming in, yeah, you're going to want an extended full choke to reach out and touch them. But if you're hunting a cornfield in a layout blind, and you got a little flooded hole there where ducks are coming in, you're going to want to be either modified or improved cylinder, because you don't want to handicap yourself there where birds are coming in. If they're decoying in at 20 yards, you don't want to handicap yourself and shooting a full or extended choke where your shot range is going to be in the 40-yard range instead of your effective range you want to be 20 yards. So with chokes, I always use modified. A couple of us use improved cylinder. I like the modified. I knock down birds with modified at 20 yards or 40 yards. I like to have that extra insurance if a bird might not be decoying as well, but it's still in my effective range. I like to be able to reach out and touch them if I can, so I stick with modified. Some guys, the improved cylinder works for them, so that's what they use. Again, personal preference. I'd suggest that you take your gun out to the gun range, put an improved cylinder in it, put a modified choke in it, put an extended full choke in it, and see what your gun does. See how it patterns at 20 yards, at 30 yards, at 40 yards. You'll be very surprised at what your pattern shot is with each of your different chokes. And use the ammo that you're going to be using. If you shoot Kent or if you shoot Black Cloud, shoot that ammo and shoot it. Do a couple rounds with each and make sure that you're patterning your gun for each one. That way you know, okay, at 40 yards I can knock down a bird with a modified choke. Next thing is guns. This is a touchy subject for some people. Some people are die-hard Benelli fans, or die-hard Remington fans, or they got that really expensive Italian gun that they like to take out into the field to show off to their friends. Again, for me, it's personal choice. Whatever works best for you, whatever you can shoulder properly, whatever you can effectively knock down birds with, or knock down deer, or whatever it is that you're hunting, it's personal preference. If you have a Benelli and you do great with it, then stick with it. If you have a Remington and you do good with it, stick with it. I have a Remington. I shoot a Remington. Some of the guys I hunt with shoot Benellis. It's all personal preference. But again, go out there, pattern your gun, go to the gun range, go to your buddy's house, wherever you can shoot, pattern your gun, find out what works for you, what works for your ammo, and makes you an effective, ethical hunter. So that